welcome back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Phi and Golf. Now, of course, before we go to the demonstrations, their reactions, exactly, let's take a look at the weather updates. At this point, it seems like weather is probably the last thing that we talked about these days, unfortunately. But it's quite normal here in Thailand because normally it's just hotter and hottest. But at this point, it seems like in the northern part, they are seeing quite a bit of a drop in temperature. But the southern part of Thailand are still suffering from heavy rain as well as strong wind. So the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation has came out and warned, especially from the 19th all the way to the 23rd, to watch out for more heavy rain down south, as well as the temperature drop up north and northeast. Now, they say that at this point, there has been a report that 7 provinces in particular, including Surat Thani, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Pathalung, Songkhla, Pattani, Yala, as well as Narathiwat. If you're in these areas, watch out for heavy rains, and you probably have seen it already too, but they say that there might be some mudslide and flash floods. So if you're in the area that's prone to those kind of disasters, please watch out, because at this point, a lot of people, especially in Pattani province, where they have seen quite a bit of heavy rains in several consecutive days, they say that having to remove all their belongings up to the second floor already, and they say that the water level in Pattani River is increasing quite continuously, so watch out for that. Now, they say that in Yala province, Narathiwat, as well as Nakhon Si Thammarat, there has been a warning already that for all the small ships or boat not to go out at sea because there will be quite high waves as well as heavy rain. For the northeast and the north, they say that temperature drop has been seen in Chiang Mai province, for example, up in the mountain hill. In the mountainsides, they say that about 9 to 14 degrees Celsius of temperature has been reported. So 9 to 14, that's quite cold for Thai people because, well, we live in 30 plus temperature. So obviously, if you would like to perhaps having a cool breeze, experience that, go up to the north, especially in Chiang Mai province, you will probably be able to experience those. In Kalasin province as well, they say that at this point there has been a report of a lot of patients admitted to the hospital due to various type of diseases that stem from the cold temperature itself, including flu, as well as a lot of the chicken pox too in children and seniors. So if you're in those areas or prone to, perhaps catches those disease, make sure that you're in a watch out for that and, get to the doctor as soon as you can, because at this point, anything you can do to prevent any further illness would probably be great. But that's the weather forecast for you at this point. So watch out until 23rd. That's when you have to look out.
So it's the high season in the north, right? Starting
because a lot of people will go up to the north and travel and such because the temperature is so nice and cool, right?
Yeah, right. Because for Thai people living in the very hottest capital or hottest region of the country, northern provinces at this time will be a perfect destination for traveling,
of course,
especially during the Christmas season or the New Year's season. Oh, now winter is around the corner, right? But not for people in the down south.
Exactly.
But not only a weather condition, weather warning here, that should be measures up in for the upcoming tourist season.
Right.
Now, the Tourism and Sports Ministry, Kun Somsak Puri Sisak, the Minister, of the Sports and Tourism Authority, Ministry said that there are going to be a special meeting between the Tourism and Sport Ministry, the authorities involved with Tourism of Thailand, and also the Transport Ministry, headed by Prime Minister Kun Yingluck Shinawatra on November 26 regarding the complaint of the Russian Union of Travel Industry, or the RUTI, urging Thai authorities to improve safety measures, especially for Russian tourists in Thailand, or they will face a boycott from its member. This letter followed the road accident, which injured more than 30 Russians in Pattaya on November the 15th, and 4 of them in serious condition, while 51 Russian tourists were on their double-decker bus when it overturned on the highway, and police believe that the cause of the accident was the driver dozing off behind the wheel. So the union representing more than 5,000 business groups and state agencies related to the tourism industry in Russia has submitted this particular letter to the Moscow Office of Tourism Authority of Thailand. And with that particular letter, which is addressed to the Thai Ministry of Tourism and Sport, they had been calling for the concise and practical measure to ensure safety for Russian tourists coming for travel in Thailand. The letter also names the road safety in Thailand as the main concern for the organization and also its member. Thai authorities said that the training of drivers, the condition of vehicles, and traffic regulations were the cause of the several accidents as well. So Thai authority will enforce strict measures on that particular factors of the accident. Now, the organization reportedly demanding the Thai government to solve these issues within the end of this month. Otherwise, it will consider responses necessary to maintain the safety of Russian citizens by canceling all scheduled charter flights from Russia throughout the period of December this year until March of next year. And if the cancellation came to effect, other countries in the region such as Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam would be picked as destination instead of Thailand. That's what stated in the letter from the Russian Tourism Authority. So Kun Somsak Purisisak, the Tourism and Sport Ministry, said that Thai authorities will take the letters in consideration and will forward with he had already forwarded this letter to the Prime Minister, and specific measures will be enforced in order to prevent such accidents from happening again. In the letter, they did not state about the incidents that happened. However, we have reported a lot of accidents or cases that involved a Russian tourist, not just the accident, but also the robbery case and also raping.
Yeah, there's a lot of issue, that's for sure. And that's why we started, there's a establishment of the tourism court in Thailand. And that's the thing, we haven't heard from them at all, because there are several cases, especially the one in Pattaya where the boat, the ferry capsized. That one as well is supposed to be in the court, but we haven't heard of them. So hopefully we'll get to report about it in terms of after the accident, what happened, what the authorities trying to do. Now moving on to the stories that everyone probably is waiting for. Yesterday, if you don't know already, you probably has been missing out quite a bit, because I'm pretty sure that all your colleagues and your friends, your families would probably talk about the fact that
it was big news.
Yeah, the verdict has came out yesterday. Everybody was waiting. It came in the early afternoon. Now they say that, let's talk about reaction, because Kun Phai will get more details in terms of what the verdict was talking about. But overall, the verdict did say that the bill was kind of not legal. Several issues to be discussed, but the reaction, it seems like both sides were quite somehow happy about it, because the red shirt people, especially that those that gathered at the Rajamankala Stadium, they said that they were quite happy when the verdict has came out, because they sat together at the stadium itself to listen to the verdict. They said that after Dr. Weng Tojirakan concluded the, or summarized the verdict for all the red shirts, they say that there's a lot of cheering, and some even burst out into tears, because they were happy with the fact that the 6 coalition parties will not be dissolved. Exactly, because that was one of the verdict that they were happy with. However, Kun Nattawut Saikia, who was also there at the time, and the Deputy Minister of the Commerce Ministry, also talked about the fact that this is only the beginning, and he requested, along with Kun Jatupan Prompan, that more red shirt people gather at the Rajamankala Stadium to show their support for the Pheu Thai party and to uphold the democracy system here in Thailand. And they say that at the stadium itself, there has been a talk that Kun Thida Thawan said later on in the day as well, also pressed on the same request, saying that all the red shirts should gather at the Rachamankala Stadium in order to show all the people that they are supporting the Pheu Thai party. And of course, this is, at this point, they say that they would probably end the rally, let me see here, the end of 2 days rally hours after the Constitution Court's ruling. They said that the UDD, or the United Front for Democracy Against Dictatorship, remain unchanged on the ending of the charter written by the coup maker, because they believe that this the Constitution is actually
unconstitutional.
Exactly, that's according to the red shirts anyway. So they say that having denounced its position, UDD calls for an end to the rally no later than midnight, as there is no need to keep the members here when the conditions and situation have not reached critical stage. And that's what she has came out and talked about last night, apparently. But at this point, we probably will have to wait and see what's the next move for the red shirt people at the Rachamankala Stadium, because it seems like they're still there in terms of gathering.
Meanwhile, and on the other side of Bangkok, at the Democracy Monument on Ratchadamnern Avenue, Kun Suthep Theersuban, the former Democrat MP and the core leader of the anti-government demonstration, has a meeting with various Democrat MPs earlier in the morning in the face of the upcoming verdict that would come later on in the afternoon. However, it seems that there is still not some certain specific measures or planned yet for in what direction they are going to after this particular court's verdict. However, yesterday, Kun Suthep had met with Kun Nikom Vayarachapane, the Senate Speaker, delivering 77 boxes containing documents, necessary documents that they say were the 15,500 signatures of Thai people that had signed to impeach the 310 MPs who involved with the passing of this particular bill, the amendment bill, right? So, the MP, the senatorial amendment bill. So they had gathered the signatures of Thai people, more than 100,000 there, to deliver on to Senate Speaker Kun Nikom, asking him to strip all 310 MPs from that position. Kun Nikom said that it could take around 1 month for the Central Domicile Registration Office to verify the identities of the more than 100,000 signatories and also examine the documents concerned. So this is one of the moves from the Democrat the Democrat-involved anti-government demonstration.
Right. So at this point, it seems like both parties are somewhat satisfied, because the thing was, and I'm pretty sure the Constitution Court judges probably has already weighed this through, thinking that, well, you can't please both sides, obviously. This is like one of the hardest verdicts, I would say.
Most compromising.
Exactly, because they did admit that, it is illegal. It was illegal, but they also said that it's not so illegal that you could dissolve all the parties. So I guess, well, I don't want to say win-win at this point, because it's still the case
like lost.
Yeah. So, well, let's take a short break, because when we come back, we'll give you a little bit more details in terms of what the court verdict was yesterday, plus at the wee hour in the morning yesterday, finally the Senate somehow just sailed through with the loan bills, 2 trillion baht bills. So please stay tuned.